Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jegoo. I'm associate professor, more assistant professor. I was promoted recently at the Stonehill College, which is located in the Boston area. So please allow me. It's Boston time. This is almost 3 a.m. So I'm kind of sleepy right now. So if I have mistakes, please forgive me. Okay. Well, today I will talk about something about blending market community. So actually I want to talk about one case study of commercial bank which successfully and effectively integrate market and community value. Okay. Well, before that, I want to thank you. And it's a great honor for me to have this kind of opportunity to present my research at 2016 Shanghai Forum. And I think Philip already provided great appreciation, so I don't have to talk more, but I want to start with a different story. That, oh yeah, actually, congratulations for the birthday of Fudan University today, right? Actually, today is my daughter's birthday also. So I'm here, she's there in Boston. Okay, I'm corporate responsibility researcher, okay? Especially I'm interested in and researching about strategic approach about corporate responsibility, okay? So for example, how companies create profit and social innovation at the same time. Okay? Also, I'm an avid soccer fan, which is football, okay, football fan. Okay? So as a soccer fan, I congratulate the city of Shanghai, Shanghai football team advanced to quarterfinal of Asia Champions League, right? So, but still I'm rooting to two South Korean teams because I'm originally from South Korea. Seoul FC, which is my hometown, and Jeonbuk FC, which is my favorite team. So but still I hope Shanghai team will play great game. Okay, the reason I bring up the issue of soccer is I think there is some similarity between soccer and corporate responsibility. Right? Okay, no one team wins every game in soccer. Okay? So for example, FC Barcelona, which is one of the greatest teams in the world, they lose games, so they could not qualify this year's UEFA Champions League, right? Also, from the other point of view, Leicester City this year, a very small team, they won championship in English Premier League. Okay? So it seems like in the soccer team, they have to prepare every game in different perspectives. And the same thing for the corporate responsibility. So corporate responsibility is not panacea. Okay? So we have to understand why and how corporate responsibility strategy works well. Okay. So I'm talking about similarity between soccer and corporate responsibility. So we need to understand and know why each firm, each case, corporate responsibility strategy is successful. Okay. So today I want to present something about commercial bank. Okay. But before that, I want to introduce briefly about. Okay. So corporate responsibility. Actually, these are two most cited definitions of corporate responsibility. And as you see here, both definitions emphasize about profit and the company return, as well as social impact and law. And so we have to think about the profit is also important for corporate responsibility. And also there are some myths I want to introduce. Oops. Okay. Okay, these are three important and popular myths in corporate responsibility. Okay. CR activities, okay, CR means corporate responsibility. Okay. Reduce bad things, no, not really. And corporate responsibility improves performance, not always. Okay. Corporate responsibility is cheap, no, it's very costly. So these are all based on research. Okay. So this is another reason why we have to understand the strategy of corporate responsibility. Okay, so this is why I want to introduce about the strategy of one company, how this company has been successfully and effectively achieved corporate responsibility. Okay. And this is a commercial bank case, so there is some the previous research talking about corporate responsibility in finance company and finance industry. And these researches emphasize two characteristics of finance industry. One is in finance industry, the regulation is really high, okay? And it is not really clear and easy to create corporate responsibility strategy in finance area. Okay? Okay, let's title this company's name is M Bank. Okay, so this bank, my research context is in Massachusetts, and it was established in 1917, almost 100 years old. So next year is a centennial celebration anniversary, and it was headquartered in Brockton, Massachusetts. Brockton is the 7th largest city in Massachusetts, and if you are familiar with the boxing, so Brockton is hometown of Marvin Hagler and Rocky Marciano. Okay. And it has about $2 billion holding and then 350 employees, which is not really large, but still it is categorized as one of the largest banks in US standard, and Brockton is located over there. Okay. So one of the characteristics of Brockton area is it has a lot of ethnicity, so diversity groups. So 43% of population of Brockton is African American, and 8% Latino, so Hispanics. So it has diversity problems. Okay. And diversity issue bring up a lot of kinds of legal issues in US. So especially in finance, there's a term redlining. Okay. Redlining means that decreasing the credit value of the people who are in a certain neighborhood. So that is kind of very important issues in finance. When we have loan and deposit, that we have disadvantage because we belong to a certain ethnic group, like African American or Hispanic. So redlining is historically one of the problems in finance industry. So that is compliance issue here, okay? And this company, so this M Bank is located in Brockton, which has a most big diverse population. So this compliance issue is very critical. In US, we have this law, Community Reinvestment Act. So Community Reinvestment Act is basically, it prevents redlining. So for example, this is one example for redlining, so which is not used anymore. So it is Boston area map, and there are different colors. So different color means different ethnic groups in neighborhood. And based on this map, banks provide different level of credit to different race groups. So that is kind of basically clearly differentiation. So it's illegal behaviors. So this Community Reinvestment Act, basically this intention was encourage the banks to help meet the credit needs of the entire communities where they operate. Okay, so we don't have to have any differentiation. Okay, so, and it was enacted by the US Congress in 1977. Okay. So that is basically the compliance issue for the M Bank and all the financial institutions. But there's another one, what matters worse is subprime lending crisis. So one of the very popular and famous event in 2007, in early 2000, I'm sorry. Okay, subprime mortgage scandal was not exception in Massachusetts and Boston, but Massachusetts and Brockton. Okay. And especially minority group and immigrants, they were victimized from this subprime lending crisis. So for example, 15% of African American, 10% of Hispanics, they lost their homes because of this one. So basically, these Hispanics and minority group immigrants, they got higher lending mortgage rate because they were in different kinds of neighborhood. So this is kind of one of the very important issues in financial industry, especially for the M Bank. Okay? So what did they do? So M Bank proactively designed some social impact programs. So social impact program, they designed for the community involvement programs. So they created 2 different centers in Brockton and one of the other cities. Okay? So they tried to provide something what community people really needed and wanted, especially immigrant people and minority groups. Okay? So these are some kinds of snapshot of this M Bank strategy. So M Bank concentrated on 3 things. They focus on minority and immigrant groups. And what? So these minority groups and immigrant groups, they usually have a low-level education, especially they didn't understand very well about financial documents. So they try to provide education programs about financial literacy, business skills, and basic computer skills, and language. And then how? They created some multi-service centers, so 2 different centers. Okay. So this is a more proactive approach beyond what the law required. Okay. So what they got is this. So from 2007 to 2015, 75% of attendees, they are from all low and moderate income residents. And then on average, 20% of attendees in their programs, they open a new bank account. So basically about $25 million annually, they added a new business to the bank. And about the combined overhead cost was about $500,000. So they got huge profit based on these activities. So the other one is good recognition or reputation from stakeholders. One interesting episode was one of the small countries in West Africa, which is the Republic of Cape Verde. So the president of Cape Verde visited this bank, and then he wanted to create new branch and education center in this country because it is well known to Cape Verde immigrant in Broughton area. Okay. And whatever they earned from these involvement programs. Okay, so they earned combined, they got about more than 5,000 new accounts, and they got more than 25 billion deposit, and then they also created more than $60 million new loans. And based on this kind of performance, they have good evaluation for their CRA achievement, because annually or periodically, these all financial institutions who got federal insurance program, they have to get evaluation from federal agencies in 3 different categories: lending, investment, and service. So MBank got satisfactory evaluation, which is very successful. Okay. I want to emphasize 2 things. One is MBank proactively approaches to compliance issues about regulation and law issues. And they created their own performance. They also created social innovation and social value. That is one thing. So the companies, they have to use their own strengths to create social innovation and their own value. Second, they created some kind of learning loop or learning process for corporate responsibility. There are 3 things I want to summarize here. Okay. First, they started from compliance. So for the CRA, Community Reinvestment Act, and they engaged proactively, so they created some social impact, right? And then, based on this social impact, they got good recognition from diverse stakeholder groups. So they got corporate performance, achieved higher or desirable corporate performance. So based on this desirable performance, they reinforced their great, good corporate citizenship. So this kind of all about learning loop, or learning process loop, about the corporate responsibility. So, okay, I summarize my presentation here. Okay, so MBank approaches corporate responsibility and corporate the Reinvestment Act in a more proactive way, utilizing and taking advantage of their own strengths and their experience. And then, based on this learning process, they created all different 3 different steps successfully. First one is compliance, and social impact, and good firm performance. Okay. So basically, they championing in the area of corporate responsibility and Reinvestment Act areas. Okay. Thank you.